Alice in Borderland Season 3's teaser trailer offers a first look at Arisu and Usagi, but the rest of the characters do not appear at all. After adapting the entirety of Haruo Aso's manga in the first 2 seasons, Alice in Borderland will return for Season 3 in 2025. With the main story having already been covered, there is only a short story from the manga called Alice in Borderland, Retry left to be used. Whether the Netflix show will adapt Retry remains to be seen, but the fact is that Alice in Borderland could now be an original story. One of the best things about Netflix's live-action adaptation of Alice in Borderland was the cast. Despite making some changes to how the characters were written in the manga, Alice in Borderland's cast included charming heroes, despicable villains, and morally grey characters with whom audiences fell in love. Although the announcement that Alice in Borderland Season 3 was going to happen sparked some polarized opinions, I believe every fan of the show is at least excited to revisit their favorite characters. This includes not only Arisu and Usagi but also the likes of Chishiya, Kuina, and Anne. Arisu and Usagi are so far the only Alice in Borderland characters confirmed for Season 3. Kento Yamazaki and Dao Tsuchiya are returning. When Netflix officially announced that Alice in Borderland was going to return for Season 3, they also confirmed that Kento Yamazaki and Dao Tsuchiya were going to reprise their roles as Arisu and Usagi, respectively. However, no other characters or actors were mentioned. Since then, it remains to be confirmed which Alice in Borderland cast members will return for the 3rd season. While I was expecting to learn a little more about the story of Season 3 in the first trailer, it seems like Alice in Borderland's marketing is keeping things close to the chest. The teaser trailer for Alice in Borderland Season 3 only shows a few seconds of footage, with Arisu and Usagi being the only characters to appear. Although we can infer some things from the teaser, such as Arisu possibly working as a psychiatrist like his Retry counterpart, it's still too soon to say what will happen in Alice in Borderland Season 3. The teaser also suggests that Usagi and Arisu will regain their memories, although it is unclear when or how it will happen. Characters like Chishiya and Kuina were neither featured nor referenced in the teaser. Alice in Borderland Season 3 will likely include other returning characters. Alice in Borderland could be keeping the rest of the cast as a surprise. A custom image featuring Chishiya and Kuina in Alice in Borderland Season 2. The fact that only Arisu and Usagi appear in the Alice in Borderland Season 3 teaser trailer does not mean that other characters will not return. Although Alice in Borderland was primarily about Arisu, the Netflix adaptation had an ensemble cast that shined throughout the show. Some of the best moments in Alice in Borderland did not even feature Arisu or Usagi, with characters such as Chishiya often stealing the show during their own side adventures. This was particularly true during Season 2 after the survivors of the beach split up. Not bringing the core Alice in Borderland characters back for Season 3 would be a huge mistake, even more so because the Netflix series will now have to justify its existence beyond the original manga. In theory, Alice in Borderland Season 3 didn't need to happen. The show has already covered all chapters of the manga. The chance of revisiting our favorite Alice in Borderland characters is one of the reasons why I'm excited for Season 3, even though I initially assumed that Season 2 was going to be the end of the show. Alice in Borderland Season 3 might focus on Arisu and Usagi, regardless of who comes back. Season 3 might be drawing inspiration from Alice in Borderland, Retry. Imagery of Arisu and Usagi in Alice in Borderland Season 3 custom image by Diana Acuna. Even if the rest of the cast returns, Alice in Borderland Season 3 might be more about Arisu and Usagi anyway. While we cannot affirm that Season 3 will cover Alice in Borderland, Retry, the Netflix show appears to be using at least some elements from that story. This includes Arisu's new look and career as well as the time skip. Curiously, the supporting characters from Alice in Borderland do not appear in Retry. In fact, not even Usagi plays a significant role in that story. She is about to give birth when Arisu suffers an accident and returns to the Borderland. Another interesting idea would be to focus on Arisu first and show us how different his life has been since he got out of the hospital, only for him to eventually find himself in the Borderland again and reunite with the other characters for some reason. This would mirror the events of Alice in Borderland Season 1, during which Arisu was our point-of-view character before we got to properly meet the other residents of the Borderland.